So today we are going to our third class with Celina. Celina Bennett is a teacher of the Feldenkrais method since her training with Moshe Feldenkrais 1983, and she lives in Florida, and she treats cases of chronic pain and applies her own method, Mind Access, which guides the positive structure of self-image. So Celina is a whole health practitioner, and today she are going to talk about liver hormones, how to say?
Liver and hormones, hormones and liver function.
And how they impact our whole health.
That's right. How they impact our whole health. Good, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good to be here with you guys. And you know, I'm always thinking about the whole being, and the more awareness we have, the more good function we develop, and that's just the way it goes in all health systems. And it's important for us to think that our health comes from all the practices that we do, everything we do, including our thoughts and many aspects of our lifestyle, how much we engage ourselves in positive activities, because this all has to do with neurochemistry, and the whatever happens in our brain, in our neurochemistry, which comes from thoughts and from what we read, from what we watch, from what we feel, all of that impacts our organs, such as the liver. And the liver filters all of the neurochemicals, all the hormones, everything that goes on in the body goes through the liver. So the liver, well, it's a powerhouse filter, a very powerful filter. It needs to be in good shape because it also is delicate. But there's something about the liver which is absolutely marvelous. Is the liver is the only organ that redevelops itself. So in other words, if a part of it is removed, it will grow it back. And because it's that important. And the human miracle is so brilliant that the human body knows that the liver is so important that it can rebuild itself. And that's a marvel of nature, an organ that can regrow itself. That's how important it is. So let me share here this screen that we can look into this ideas of what the liver does and how it works and how it's connected to the hormones and how much we can do to help. So with this image of these two people drinking water here, I put this image there to convey to you how important, how it is the top most important practice in our lives is hydrating ourselves. We need the water to flush. So when we are not drinking enough water, yeah, we have enough water in our bodies, but this water needs to be replenished. All these organs, all of this metabolic function needs water, and giving enough fluids and water to the body helps the organs to stay functioning at their best. So the liver does so much. It's responsible for 500 functions in our body. And, you know, all of them that I listed here are extremely important. The purification of the blood, we need water for that. Look, 1.4 liters a minute. That That's a lot of water. So regulating the metabolism, the digestion, to assist the transformation of foods into nutrients. That's super important, because from this absorption of nutrients, we can create the amino acids, the proteins that we need for every cellular function in our body. So it's primary, of course, it's primary. Storing minerals and fat-soluble vitamins, protein synthesis, glycogen. I mean, these are important components of cell replication, amino acid production. I mean, it is so complex on this level that everything we are is our amino acids. Our amino acids keep our cells together, because the organs need to create cells to maintain the organs. So let's say the kidneys. The kidney produces cells that are kidney cells. And to do that, we need amino acids. They are the basic formation of cell replication. So we need proteins and amino acids. That comes from the work of the liver, being able to regulate the metabolism. And having, of course, the stored minerals and soluble vitamins. The storage and conversion of energy. So our energy comes from the function of the liver, the cholesterol production. And, there's a lot of beliefs about cholesterol. Everybody's changing every once in a while. But the fact is that cholesterol is necessary, as it is a precursor of our steroid hormones. It manages brain function, nerve function, and hormone transportation. So what does this mean? A precursor is an element that is necessary for a function to happen. For instance, a precursor of brain function is minerals. And of course, hormones are also part of brain function and nerve function and so many other functions that we have in our body to keep homeostasis always balanced. So the liver is really the core. Of course, the heart is so important, but the two together, look how similar they are. They're both filters, and they're both filled with blood, and they have a dark color, right? So that comes from a lot of the synthesis that they both do, and they need a lot of water to do their work. One thing that the liver does is protects us from parasites. So it filters some of the parasites right out for us. And once that little parasite is filtered out, the liver needs water or fluids to remove it out of the body. So these functions are all happening, and we need to hydrate the liver. And most famously, we know that the liver does detoxification. How does it do that? Removing these things from our body. And we need water for that. So the liver has an amazing capacity for self-recovery, as I just said. And in our Western lives, we abuse our livers quite a bit. There's lifestyle things that we do that really beats up on our livers, and we have to stay on top of it. So when we talk about non-organic foods, we're talking about, processed foods, and we think of several things that are in there, mercury, lead, PCBs, and pesticides, a lot of stuff that's inorganic. Air pollution, also heavy metals come through that. Even in our tap water, you know, some of the chemicals that are used to purify, so fluoride, chlorine, you know, mercury, lead, parasites that come through. Skincare products. So here I make a list of, if you are looking at a skincare product, a cream or a facial cream, look at these ingredients so that you can start minimizing that kind of exposure. Household cleaning products. Again, these are things that are in most cleaning products we need to be careful with. And if you're going to use it, you know, make sure you have an open window, make sure that you have gloves. Medications, both recreational and prescription. I never think of medication as recreational, but I think the meaning here is to say that sometimes we, excuse me, practice sports, and then we use some creams to help our muscles, or if we develop some kind of pain, we go and take an aspirin, or we use products to assist us to feel better. Then we have plastics, you know, things that come out from plastics that go into food and go into water, fluids, cookware, and then stress, which is something that people don't realize how much it impacts the liver because we are creating these neurochemicals and they go to the liver for the liver to filter. Alcohol and coffee. And we're talking about excesses here. A glass of wine once a week is not going to damage liver. And that is good sense. A cup of coffee once in a while is not going to harm us, but it's the 4 or 5 cups a day that's doing damage. So our bodies are designed to excrete these toxins. And the challenge is when the load is greater than what the body can handle. So we need to constantly be thinking about, you know, are we giving the body an opportunity to replenish and to detoxify the things we are taking in? That's an important consideration. We got something in the wrong pipe. So we have this idea of when an organ becomes overwhelmed, they become sluggish. The liver is known to become sluggish, meaning it's overcrowded. So these are some of the symptoms of that you're going to see with a sluggish liver. Issues with cholesterol, elevation of triglycerides, elevated ALT and AST liver enzymes, weight gain, heart disease, bloating, constipation, inability to digest fast foods, loss of appetite, rashes, psoriasis, eczema, boils, acne, moles, itching. Some of the symptoms that, if it comes up, commonly we have, we can notice ourselves without a test, is weight gain and bloating and constipation, loss of appetite, rashes. Increase your water intake. Do it, notice it in 3 months, how these symptoms may disappear. If they don't, then we need to look a little further into testing. But one thing that's super important in the liver function is paying attention to hormonal imbalance. hormonal imbalances can plague any of us. And the liver is responsible for filtering out all the mutated hormones. So a lot of function in the body has to do with our hormones. It's finished used, right? Let's say the insulin, for instance, which is a hormone. It's used, it goes to the liver to be filtered out. Any hormone that's used in any part of the body, in any function of the body, gets used by the body, and then it's the responsibility of the liver to filter it out, the mutated hormones, the used hormones. So when the liver is sluggish, this could be affected in the function of the hormone. Also, neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are the precursors, if you will, of brain function. That's where all of the messages that happen in our brain that gets transmitted, and they need minerals to carry out that function. So we need to have all of that traveling. We need to have the right nutrients. We need to have the right fluids. We need to have a liver that is not sluggish. Otherwise, it backs up. It stays in the system. Some people, like me, and that's why I know all these things, because I'm missing a couple of enzymes in my liver. So I need to be extremely careful, not allowing my liver to become sluggish. So I have to constantly pay attention to water consumption, and I have to also be careful with some of the substances, such as caffeine, and other types of stronger substances, even herbal teas that are strong. I have to be careful, like these healing teas. I need to be careful. So because I'm missing a couple enzymes in my liver doesn't process it, and it stays in my blood system. So caffeine stays in my blood system a lot longer than other people. So therefore, I can't sleep at night if I drink caffeine, because in my brain, there's a lot of stuff going on, neurochemicals related to stimulants. So how do all of that, the hormonal imbalance, affect the human being? So we have sleep and mental disturbances. We have mental confusion. And, how do these things happen? Sometimes it's normal to have a little bit of mental confusion. If we are tired, if we have overworked and with a certain subject for many hours, or we haven't slept well. So sometimes we have other issues, like diarrhea is something that causes mental confusion, because we have a lot of neurons in the gut. So different conditions in the body can affect mental confusion. But definitely hormonal imbalance can be a culprit. Sensitivity to medicines, for women, heavy or clotted menstruation, irregular periods, fibroids, hot flashes, cysts on ovaries, mood swings, or any menopausal problems. Because menopause in itself should not be a problem. It's a natural process. And when we have all of the nutrients, and most especially minerals, during menopause, minerals are critical for a very natural menopausal process, without mood swings, without hot flashes, without discomfort. So this is to do with liver function, maintaining the liver clear and not allowing it to become sluggish. So the good news, like I said, is that the liver is an organ that can regenerate itself. So if you give it the right support, boom, right away it starts working. And the liver needs to eliminate the metabolized, used up hormones to make space for new ones. That's why a person who has a sluggish liver is not hormonally balanced. So the hydration is key, as I said, but there's a few more tips that we can do to improve the quality of our liver function. And one is, of course, the hydration, and take 50% of your body weight. Let's see, your body weight in ounces. So let's see, what happened to my fibers? Oh, there it goes. My fiber goes here. There. So we have to, pay attention. Vegetables have a lot of fibers, so we can do that. And we have to take at least 2 to 3 tablespoons of insoluble fiber per day. Flax is a great choice, golden flax especially, and as it helps estrogen metabolism. And if you cannot tolerate flax, you can substitute for others like chia and psyllium husks. But eating a good amount of vegetables daily, there's a lot of fiber in that. And supporting the liver with a good vitamin B complex. And it's a key to open up some detoxification pathways. And there's ways to find B12. Some people don't feel good with B12, so they can take it by using the methylated form of folate and B12. All of that is written in bottles that we can buy from Amazon, or a good multivitamin that has B12 is sufficient. So long as you are aware that your liver is constantly metabolizing things that we need to get rid of. And for us, as we are aging, men and women. So there is one more thing that I do, which is digestive enzymes. I'm going to add that. And the digestive enzymes, me and my husband use it every day, and our friends who come into our house, they use it too, because we have a big jar on the table, and they help the liver to metabolize foods. And as we grow older, some of the fluids, digestive fluids, they begin to diminish. And my doctor suggests that this doctor is particularly concerned with the area of aging. An older crowd is his focus, geriatric we could call, and he's always concerned with how we are absorbing our nutrients, and are we getting enough digestive fluids, juices to digest the food. So taking the digestive enzymes, and I think I already put the digestive enzyme in that original list, but I'll put it in here again when I send this document out, because to us it's key, especially for people who have had their gallbladder removed. That's really important to take digestive enzyme with every meal. And I notice that when I take digestive enzyme, I keep my weight more equilibrated because my body is absorbing better. And also my digestion is more dynamic, and, you know, I'm more regular. So I don't take fiber. I eat lots of vegetables, and I hydrate really well, and I take my digestive enzymes. That's my protocol, and I am super regular. I feel good. My skin is of good quality. My sleep is of good quality. I am 64 years old, and I do not have any issue with my cholesterol or anything with my blood. I don't take any medications to balance anything in my bodily functions. So I feel like I'm a winner when it comes to creating a balanced health at my age. That's that. There's still a minute or a couple more minutes for questions.
A couple of questions, Celina.
Yes.
Well, one, when you were talking about you feel great and you eat a lot of vegetables, are you a vegetarian?
No, I'm not a vegetarian. I
Just
eat.
curious. I know a lot of people are, and I was just trying to see if there might be a difference in that. But what do you think about these things over the counter where they talk about you buy this liver detox or you should do a liver detox? Is that even possible, or are they just trying to sell you something?
Well, I detox my liver every day, Terry, by the things that I told you. So lifestyle is always detoxing your liver. That makes unnecessary for any other drastic approaches. Detoxing is something we need to be really careful with, Terry, because detoxing can, you know, take, it's like you're pushing the system, and that's going to create something. So by drinking water in a good amount every day, you're detoxing. And by, you know, to detox a liver, stop drinking coffee, stop drinking alcohol for a period of time that you want to detox. Let's say you want to detox for a month or for 3 weeks. That all you have to do is remove those things, and you're already detoxing. And heavy foods, you know, fatty foods, do very lean meats, and in smaller quantities, and increase the amount of vegetables because of the amount of minerals and nutrients that are in vegetables, especially, Terry, if one is making a detox, is to not eat, rather said, to eat organic vegetables, because it's going to have less pesticides, it's going to be less stuff in there. So if a person wants to detox, you don't have to do anything other than just remove alcohol, remove processed foods, remove sugar, remove coffee, remove and eat organic vegetables in a good quantity, 75% vegetables and 25% protein, lean. That's plenty for a liver detox. It's a little gentler, slower. I would say 3 to 4 weeks is ideal to really make your liver tip-top shape, you know, a star function. 3 months, and then a lifestyle where you remove those things. I'm not 100% sugar-free. Every once in a while, I go to the upper crust bakery, the bane of my existence, but I am back to that wagon on a daily basis. I keep a good practice. Every couple of weeks, I fall off the wagon with a little bit of sugar. And when I can, I make sweet things because, you know, I love sweet things. I make things like I buy fresh fruit and I boil it like peaches in a little bit of water, and I put a little bit of a sweetener called monk fruit, which is super low glycemic. It's not sugar. And I make that nice little jam and I put it in the fridge. And instead of eating a jam with sugar, I eat that little jam with my toast every once in a while. It's not every day. Or I'll have a banana. You know, if I am really desiring something sweet, I'll have a banana because it's a high glycemic, or, you know, mango or something really sweet, which I don't eat every day. I don't eat fruit every day, but I eat berries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, red berries. So whenever I feel a little craving for food and for fruit, this kinds of practices removes the difficult things that the liver has to deal with. So my lifestyle is a detoxifying lifestyle. Now, keep my liver clear. I think that's why I do well with my general health, because my liver is cleaned and is processing everything. And it's interesting because even in our emotions, Terry, when we have strong emotions, frustration, tension, fear, even sadness, it creates a greater production of neurochemicals that the liver has to deal with. So having a clear liver helps the liver to process all of those emotions. They don't get stuck in the body. They move through. So helps us to stay more emotionally balanced. And I think next week we can do emotions and liver function. We can talk about that next week because it would be a nice continuation.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Fantastic.
you so much, Celina. I'm very glad because Celina said she has time every Wednesday, this time, 12:30. So she will be with us every week. So
As long as you want me, I'm here. And, you know, I do
yeah,
these studies and know these things based on the teachings of a doctor by the name of Dr. Cochran. And he's a chiropractor that studies metabolism pretty seriously. And I do a lot of inspiration. I get it from him. I work with him directly, as I have some of my clients that need deeper care and in their situations from health crisis. And I count on him to assist me with them, and I send them to him. And I ended up learning quite a bit about how to help my clients of chronic pain, that the reason for the chronic pain is metabolic reasons. So I may not know everything about this, but I know who does know a lot. So I might not know a lot, but he does. And we can always count on him to elucidate me and guide me if we have a question too, or any subject we want to study.
nice. Yeah. So thank you so much. So next
week.
Next week.
emotions and hormones.
Yes.
Awesome.
Looking forward.
Yeah. So
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, Terry. Thank you.
Bye, Terry.